Hey everybody, welcome to the last episode of the Bullhucker. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Adam Vokey.
You know, Adam, it's been a good run. We've had a great run, man.
It's been a ride, dude.
This is the 190th episode. Yeah. And, you always think about how you want to end things, what you want to do to end things. And I thought there's only one real way we could end this podcast, and that's by bringing on the person who was on episode
we're
number
gonna end
one.
it the way we started it.
And so our guy's the Alpha and the Omega. Matt Gordon, how are you, buddy?
Alpha and Omega. That's hilarious. I just want to say I'm disappointed in you two tremendously for ending this. This is an amazing piece of media that you've created. No, I'm not disappointed. I just want to reflect for a second, if that's okay. Like it's been a long time.
Yeah,
you've created a bunch of stuff. You've connected with a bunch of people, and it's just like, thank you. Thank you for taking the time and investing your energy into seeing stories where maybe we wouldn't have seen them before.
Right. But there is also, we have a surprise at the end of the episode, too. Yeah. Ooh, boy, he's hard right now, I bet you. So,
I'm not going to check. I'll tell you that right now.
I will.
Good Lord.
August 2020 was the first one we did. It's funny because I have a video somewhere of you and I before the podcast sitting down at the Sands Theater and checking the equipment. And there was a ghost. He refuses to say that, but it's a ghost.
It's not a ghost.
But it's totally a ghost. But
it was never a ghost.
But it's kind of funny. We're sitting there just talking, and I laughed at Adam because the original episode, the cameras are pretty high, so it looks like almost a security camera filming the episode. So if you go back to episode 1 of the Bullhucker podcast, it's cringeworthy to be sure. So,
so you're saying we've came a long way.
There's a lot to learn. It's like doing the comedy shows. If there's a mistake to be made, I made it.
If there was a wrong way to do it, we figured it out.
Right, but Matt, even after that, you've been a part of this quite a bit. You've been in this chair right here a lot, covering for Adam.
I know. It was a lot of fun to co-host. And, I mean, getting an outlet, especially as, like, just a slightly creative person who likes to make jokes, this is a great place to do that. But I think what caught me the most off guard is I can make jokes all day. We could all joke. Was the serious connections, the stories that we'd get about people's lives that I mean, a lot of lies, but some really true connective tissue around people that was just so heartwarming to be a part of. Like that unexpected aspects of the things, to your point about coming a long way, like that in itself, where your intentions are, what are we going to find out? You don't know until you get to do it. And then you find all these amazing things.
Right.
Awesome.
Right. And it's been tough. I mean, 190 episodes, I pretty much went through everybody in Morgan County is going to do a podcast. So, and that's okay. That's okay. It is what it is. Everything runs its course, and it's been a blessing and something that's kept me busy, and I've enjoyed and been very proud of over 190 episodes. So, thank you for being the final episode, man. I'm glad you could make it down from Denver. I know you're a busy man, so it means the world to me that you came down to tell 3 last stories, man. So
thank you for having me.
Yeah. It's because what were the first stories? It was the let me guess, Purple Coffin.
I always talk about that. Derek Boss will love talking about that. He's out in Alaska now and still talks about Purple Coffin.
Does he?
Yes.
Did he watch the episode?
Oh, of course he did. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Derek?
What's up, Chief? But the Grand Canyon.
That really happened.
And what was the third story?
Was the Grand Canyon the one with the bees?
Yeah, dude, fuck bees.
Okay, all right. Because I was going to say the one with the bees, but it's the same one.
Right.
I'm surprised I can remember this.
What was the third one? Do you remember?
Dude, I wish you guys host it. I'm supposed to remember stuff?
Yeah, that's true.
Shit.
That's true.
You see, this is why it's ending.
There's no way I'll be able to remember that.
The incompetence has caught up with us. Yeah.
There's no way I'll be able to remember that last episode, the last story of your first episode from 4 years ago.
That's years ago.
Right.
There's been times I've been sitting here looking at this list, trying to pick what I thought was the Bullhucker.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what the fuck was that story about? And I just heard it 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, squirrel for sure.
That happened with Terry Barton Gregg when we were over there, when they were out here for a comedy
for the
thing.
the
She was telling,
show.
I was like, what the hell? I'm like, there might be something wrong with me.
Yeah.
I'd be losing my damn mind. She just told that story, and I can't tell you what it was about.
Squirrel.
What are we talking about?
Squirrel. But you're right, Matt, in the aspect that there's been a lot of great stories. There's been some that I've laughed out loud at, and when I'm editing them, I start laughing again. They're such amazing stories. But the ones that I love are the ones that pull on the heartstrings.
Always.
They kind of show you're growing up. And there's been a few that I know, all three of us being in the host or the co-host, they've told, and it's been quiet when they were done for a second, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That, wow.
Just letting it sit. and like feel that they shared that. Not only do they share it with us, which is something amazing, and we had talked about this several times, the courage to get onto this podcast, it takes a lot for some folks.
Yeah.
And not only the effort to create the stories and share them in a way that's engaging, but to open yourself up to other people watching and potentially judging those things about you. Commending every single guest that sat down in this guest chair, because it's hard, it's scary. Right. But because they took the chance, because they had that courage, we got to see sides of people that I don't think we ever would have had a chance to see outside of this specific medium. So again, I'm harping on it, but thank you. Thank you.
And we've had a few guests that they would start to tell a story, and they're like, I don't know if I've ever told anybody that.
Yeah, amazing.
So they're just not telling one person something they've never told before. They're telling, everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
So
when I remember, gosh darn it, she's does the farm podcast. Lori Boyer had a story that she had never told anybody, and then Dempsey, was it her? And Dempsey, I remember Dempsey was a co-host, and she goes, I've never told that story before. And then when Dempsey were like, I bet you have not, because it was a crazy, wild-ass story, It was her. It was her about spending the night at a friend's house. That there was something wrong with that friend, like on a spiritual level or something.
Yeah, I remember listening to that one.
That was a crazy story, man. So, and some of the biggest compliments I've got over the years is when I run into them and they said, man, I did your podcast, and then people at the store at Walmart came up to me and just started talking to me about it. It's crazy. I'm like, yeah, that's very cool. That it's something I take a lot of pride in. One of the biggest prideful moments in this podcast I've had is my buddy Troy Rivera. What's up, Troy boy?
Troy
is a teacher, and he got a job in Arizona. I came to find out. I thought this was in Greeley. It was in Arizona, and this kid in his class was staring at him the whole time, because he was brand new. And the kid came up to him and says, were you on the Bullhucker podcast? And Troy said, my jaw dropped, and he goes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, you and I gave that kid a shout out. I wish I remembered his name. I should have looked it up. But I thought it was crazy that how the hell this kid out of Arizona find this podcast in Brush, Colorado? Absolutely crazy. So,
well, I picked my daughter up this past Wednesday, and we were at the hotel, and before we drove back from Rapid, and she goes, there was a kid, like one of the boys in her class texted her and said, what was the name of your dad's podcast again?
Yeah.
And he lives in North Dakota. It's like a 16 or 17-year-old kid in North Dakota. So then she started laughing, and I go, why did he want to know? She goes, he said he wants to fall asleep to it. So,
you know what?
Whatever. What?
Kid in North Dakota. How about that, bud? Thanks. How about that? Come after me, bro.
We have two camera angles here. One of them is thumbs up. The other one is the middle finger. We'll see which one makes the cut.
The one who edits.
Yeah, he edits.
Gets to pick what makes the cut there.
Listen, sleepy kid, keep listening, because the more you listen, the more ad revenue this baby's going to churn in as we keep these episodes up in long term, okay? Sleep all day.
Or the kid's got the hots for your daughter, and he's trying to get to know as much as he can about you,
Maybe.
He gets to find out things like you have a huge gun collection. And low morals when it comes to shooting a kid trying to date a daughter. Just so you know.
I have a shotgun and a shovel, and I know how they both work. And I travel all over the United States. So
good thing we're into the podcast, because I won't need you anymore. So if you go to jail for that little comment, then... Well, as for the last time I'll say it, Matt, you ready to tell some stories?
I am.
All right, let's do this. Mr. Vokey, you want to read them off for us?
I will. We've got Chicken Car, The Solo, and Lady Bowser.
Lady Bowser. Well, you know what, man? For one last time, Adam, pick the first one.
I'm going to go with Chicken Car.
Chicken Car.
Excellent. Years ago, before Sigourney Weaver, that's for your Aqua Teen Hunger Force fans, there's none. I worked at KFC and A&W. You guys know this, so this you can verify. I was there for many years, worked with many different managers. Some of my favorites, Dave Machete. I believe he still works at the KFC off Chambers.
What's up, Dave?
Hold on. Was that the third story? You kicking Dog the Bounty Hunter out of the KFC?
Yeah, that's the one. We're bringing back around to KFC. Look at context clues. I forgot. So many amazing things happened at that KFC. What is the Bill and Ted Strange Things Are Afoot at the Circle K? That became a line at the KFC. Yeah. So anyway, one of the managers I worked with was a petulant prankster. His name was Mitch. Mitch liked to try and jack with staff, and standard pranks. One of the things he would do is you'd be like taking an order at the drive-thru, he'd sneak up behind you and hit you with a slice of cheese in the face.
Yes.
He would get you with a raw hot dog. He would rip a hot sauce packet open and in your drink, put your straw in the hot sauce packet and then put it into the cup. So when you drink it, you drink straight hot sauce. Obviously, we got really sick of this guy really fast and just could not beat him in any type of prank war. It all culminated, me and my buddy Adam at the time, we get tricked into walking out the back door with Mitch standing there holding a whole bucket full of flour. And we're like, well, God, here we go again. Except our coworker was on the roof and dropped a bucket of chicken blood on us. And then he hit us with the flour in a great antique mode and was like, oh, sorry, guys, and ran off. Adam and I decided to concoct a plan to get back at this man.
He threw chicken blood on you like the Carrie prom scene.
That's what
chicken
I was
blood,
thinking, like Carrie.
Chicken blood and flour, so caked all over everything.
I'd fuck him up.
Yep. So I'm the kind of guy, like, I don't want to fight anybody. I'm not really a fighter, but I definitely love the idea of long-term revenge. So the plan we put in place was we're obviously littered with raw chicken in every single direction at this KFC. And Mitch, you know, is trying to sell a car, and we got this idea to pop his hubcaps off his car and put raw chicken breasts into the hubcaps and pop the hubcaps back on.
Excellent. Love it.
Yes, all 4 hubcaps. Mitch goes to meet with the guy. And the guy's like, I can't buy this car. Like, it smells like ass. Like, what is going on? This goes on for 2 months that he tries to sell this car. And every single person that is interested in buying it is like, the smell is wrong. He's buying like cases of Ozium to spray it on the interior of the car to try and make it smell good. Like, it's all the things you would expect from somebody absolutely panicking, just trying to offload a car. Well, we get to the 2-month mark and he finally figures it out. Is like, wait a second, what the? Goes and pops the hubcap off the back car, and it's like rotted, just the most disgusting chicken you could ever imagine.
It's like a maggot taxi.
I was gonna say that.
He immediately knows it's Adam and I, because who else would put chicken under his hubcaps, and runs into the KFC while we're working. We're already dying laughing. Like, yeah. Oh, no. This has been going on way longer than you were aware of. And by the way, go check your other hubcaps. The next time you decide to pour chicken blood on us, it's going to go in your seats. And we never pranked again. There were no more prank wars post that. Once he got the chicken removed, he was finally able to sell his car. But one of those things where just I was chuckling about it when I was thinking of stories for this, like how simple and elegant a prank. Chicken. Mm-hmm. The chicken car.
You know, it's funny. I worked at a Wendy's. No, the chicken blood thing happened. That's a bit much.
I love it.
But you said about the hot sauce in the packet. So
dude.
The big prank for us was you'd pour salt right down the straw.
Ooh.
So the first time they suck, you're on that grill. It's summer in Brush. It's 110 degrees outside. You're on that grill. You're hot. There's a nice cold Pepsi. So you grab it. It's ice cold. You put your lips around it. You suck it down, and there's a shot of salt down your throat, bud. You want to see people lose their shit. You want to see someone break insanity. That's how you do it, because it sucks to suck down a bunch of wet salt. Just you know, but
salted Pepsi.
Oh yeah, well it wasn't. It was Pepsi flavored salt is what it was. So that made me laugh when he said that though, because I think at fast food jobs, that's the gig, right? That's what happens. So
you got to mess around, and I could see why you'd be irritated. You're like, dude, I was about to meet the Black Crows. Like, this is ridiculous.
You remember that story?
Of course, I remember.
That's awesome.
Dude, callbacks. I got a couple. Now, it's funny about KFC is the prank wars extended. You know, everybody had one. The hiding behind the counter and then like waiting for somebody to pop them, like scare the shit out of them when they get into work. We did what was it? You're wearing the glove that can protect you from like fryer oil. Turn it on, put your hand in, and freak the boss out. Like,
we never had such a glove. I didn't know something existed like that.
No, it was the same glove that you would use to clean the flat top. Could resist the fryer temperatures, and so just dip that in there and freak your boss out.
I don't know. We throw ice in ours.
Oh yeah, make it blow up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wait for somebody to drop a bunch of fries and throw in ice, and
it splatters in their face. There. Like, oh, that was excellent.
It's like
Epic.
people are walking around brushed deformed. Oh, you were in the fryer when Moose was there.
Yes.
Oh, looks like someone got the old Larry special in early 90s, huh?
There's a support group in town because of you.
With a GoFundMe for an assassin, by the way. So.
Dude, the attack of Wendy's.
Oh, man.
I love that about fast food to a certain extent, like keeping it to a level that the word professionalism is not what comes to mind. But like, don't escalate to where it's terrible, but fun.
When I worked at Subway, when I was going to Votech school in Goodland, Sean Summey, I haven't talked to him since he graduated.
What's up, Sean?
30 years ago.
Sean.
I was working with him one night, and a friend of ours came in, and we were making his sub. And he wasn't paying attention. Like, he told us what he wanted on it, and then he was just, like, talking to whoever was next to him. Sean got a piece of saran wrap and did the meat and the cheese and then put the saran wrap down and then all the vegetables on top of that. So that first bite, he pulled that, and it was just like a train of vegetables coming out just straight onto his lap, all over the floor. He's like, you guys suck. We're just sitting there watching with bated breath, waiting for him to take a bite.
Actually, it's funny because we did that kind of like that Wendy's too, except for in the hamburgers, we put like a pop lid, like the wax pop lid, the tops of the sodas.
Yes.
And watch someone bite into it and try and get that bite off is the funniest shit you'll ever see. Like a dog with a toy. Dude, it's hilarious because they can't quite bite through it. It was funny until someone chipped a tooth and then sued Wendy's, and then that prank stopped. But my mom's boyfriend, I did it too. And then you got to know something's up when the whole staff's at the front counter just losing their shit. That's so angry, man. All you want's for that single to go into your mouth and then into your So it's we should start a new podcast saying, "What'd you do at the fast food place?"
I think that would be an excellent. Like, so many great questions.
It'd be like, you did what?
Until it becomes huge, and then we get sued by every fast food establishment because we are fucking their business up at that point. So, what'd you think about that one, Adam?
Dude, I like that one. That was a good one.
Well, he started off the last episode swinging. That's what I like to. I expect nothing less from Matt Gordon, but that's fantastic. It's I've heard that a lot with like fish in cars. People do that with like fish. They put a fish under the seat and just let it go.
At pizza, we had little tins of anchovies. Ooh. So we would pop the lid, like peel the lid back a little bit, and then throw it under one of the driver's seats during the summer.
Pizza Hut, Kevin George, rest in peace, homie.
Kevin.
Told me there's mineral oil that he put on pizza sometimes if he didn't like the person, because apparently it'll give you the shits. Horrible. Like, really? And it's flavorless, right? Like, it's can't. Yeah. Is it what you coat the pan with before you put? Is that what it is for?
We didn't have mineral oil at that Pizza Hut that I worked at, but I mean, mineral oil will do that.
Yeah, so he'd put a little on top of the pizza and be like, enjoy your pizza, you son of a bitch. So
there's so many of those.
Oh, man.
Using it was a KFC and A&W on the burgers. If the customer was really mean over the drive-thru or rude, they would write messages on the buns and then just put it on top. Or like write a curse on it and then give them the burger, and you're like, that's chill. All right, we don't need to like ruin their family line over a cheeseburger here. But
it's like some weird witch curse.
Yeah.
I had the cop show up. I was a shift manager. I had a cop show up at the Pizza Hut one night when I was managing, because one of the people we had delivered a pizza to said that they had received a death threat from Pizza Hut. And I was like, what the hell? So there was another Travis Jones.
What's up, Travis?
He had delivered a pizza, but he delivered it to the wrong house. He had two deliveries, and he took the one pizza left the wrong pizza at the wrong house. So he's like, shit. So he goes back and he gets it. Well, protocol is you take that back to the store, we remake the pizza, and then take it out.
Yeah.
But he just took it from the house that wasn't supposed to have it to the house that had it. Ooh. Well, the people that had it first had flipped the lid open and wrote on the inside of the lid, "You are going to die," and closed it back up. And gave the pizza back, or called and said, "This isn't our pizza." So Travis went and got it, blah blah blah. So then when the people that got the rightful owners of the pizza got it, they opened it. They're like, "What the fuck?" They called the cops. Cops showed up. The thing is Travis was a shift manager too. He was just filling in as a driver.
Poor guy.
He should have known better. But
it's obvious Travis had the proper technique and training at Pizza Hut not to do that.
Seriously,
his wife was a shift manager too. So
it's like Clerks. I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
A joke which they continued in every movie.
Yep.
Always. Kevin Smith, that was his big line. Every time, I can't remember the actor's name, Dante.
Yep.
It was in a movie of his. Somehow that actual saying came out in the movie, man.
Love it.
Fun fact. All right. Chicken car. It was a great story, man. I really enjoyed it. So I always like the tomfoolery of fast food places. So we got 2 left. We have The Solo and Lady Bowser. Well, I think we know which one I'm going to pick last because I've already asked about it and you refused to tell me, Magic, because you're a
And that's
bastard.
why I didn't pick it, because I want to hear that one last, too.
So let's instead hear The Solo.
The Solo. Years ago, I mean, I've been playing music forever to a certain extent, and not always well, but, well, maybe even now. When I was in 4th grade, I lived in Boulder, and I hadn't started playing like brass instruments and such yet. I was interested in choir. So I joined the Bear Creek Elementary, like 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade choir. It was about 50, 60 people. And that group was, I guess, I don't want to say really famous. Famous is not the word. They were well known in the choir competition circuit as a talented group of people. And so, like, I, as a kid who's interested in music, couldn't wait to go jump in. We sing all sorts of songs that nobody knows. Kyrie, nobody. Hey Ye Yana, nobody knows that song either. I'll regale you guys afterwards if you'd like to hear the Italian and the Chickasaw that they taught us as a bunch of white kids. Anyway,
I think we'll pass. I think we're good.
Yep.
Take your word for it.
Yep. But the big thing for me was I wanted to challenge myself and try and be like a lead singer in this choir. I'm like, I can do this. I had never done it before. So I bust my butt. I train as a 4th grader, playing music forever. I'm like, I'm going to earn a solo in Kyrie so I can get in front of everybody and just like, let it out and see how it goes. We're practicing. We're doing all of these things, and I am not very good, and that sucks. So it's like a challenge in that moment from the teacher. You need to figure this out, in 4th grade terms. And if you can't, we're going to replace you with this person. I don't want to say this person's name, but you know who you are.
We'll call him Frank.
He did not replace me because I put it together, and I ended up putting a Kyrie solo, like you've heard before, in front of the CMEA choir competition conference at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs. To get on to the actual competition stage, we had to do recordings prior to the fact, and we did a couple like samples, and my first couple were really bad, but that third one that got us into the competition, I sang even better live. You have these moments in life that define your interest and the things that you want to be as you get older. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I could sing to rooms of people for the rest of my life. Like, this is exactly what I want. Yeah. Why am I singing in Italian? So immediately go in a different direction. I ended up leaving the choir when I got into 5th grade, transitioned to tuba, and never was a choir singer ever again. But found my way back to being a lead singer in Derek's favorite band, Purple Coffin. That is The Solo.
The Solo. I was hoping it was more about the Han, but you know what? It's still good. It's still good. So, because you're kind of a nerd like that, that's what we have in common. We get.
I'm going to say something controversial right now, and I don't really like Star Wars anymore. It's not interesting.
Okay, well, but the originals.
The OGs are fantastic. Yes. I can tolerate the prequel trilogy because there are glimmers of hope and interest. Yeah. Whatever's coming out in the last 5, 6, I don't know.
Oh, they're horrible.
I don't know what all that's about, but I'm not really
7,
interested
8, 9 are garbage.
Yeah.
They're horrible. But the prequels were good because it shows the rise of Vader, how he becomes Vader, man. That alone is why I like the prequels, He's the biggest. We'll get into that later. So
you just fall into Star. Welcome to the Star Wars podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. It's a podcast inside a podcast.
As a matter of fact, in honor of it, Adam's going to speak nothing but Wookiee for the rest of the episode. He's been trying real hard. So come on.
I can't. I was going to try, but I know I can't.
No, he's just a silent Wookiee. Contemplative.
There was a chick in Goodland that we called Chewie because
she was faithful
I know,
and a good partner. That's why.
I'm not going to say her real name, but anyway.
Shout out to Chewie.
Because she's faithful and a good partner. That's why.
Yeah, we can.
It's nothing to do with hairy arms.
That's wow.
No, it was more of a facial thing, but
anyway. Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox kind of thing.
Yeah, well, if you would have shaved Chewbacca, you would have had this chick.
I'm sorry,
anyways, let's just move on.
Sorry, Chewie.
God bless her. she's somewhere in that movie Billy Madison, People to Kill, and Adam Vokey's name is still on that list.
Exactly.
There was a bunch crossed out, but Adam Vokey's name's still on that list. So
Good thing I live in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah. Shout out Des Moines.
Yeah, thank God this is the last episode because I don't need you anymore. So if this chick wants to sauce you,
I'm
she can.
moving. I got to sign my witness protection papers after this.
That's right. Killed by a Wookiee. All right. Or a mute key. No, I tried to make that Jets getting cut. So, all right.
That should get cut. Yeah. Why did that sound offensive, even though it wasn't?
She didn't speak. She was a mute. She was a Wookiee, so I called her a mute key. And yeah.
Well, she would speak. She'd never shut up. Anyway, so
thank you for that.
Yeah, it's funny whenever Jerry Cage is on, he makes mistakes. He's like, "You gonna cut that out?" I go, "Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I only cut up my mess ups. That's what it's cut out. If you mess up, that's on you. That just helps my ratings." So, all right, 2 down. Chicken Car, the solo, and the one I want to hear the most is Lady Bowser.
Good old Lady Bowser. I purposefully picked a bunch of stories from my childhood that I was reflecting on over the last couple weeks. I'll get into why towards the tail end of the podcast. But Lady Bowser is a tale of Matt in first grade out in Madera, California. I went to Lincoln Elementary School. And I loved it. I mean, I had great friends. Brennan, Eba. Brennan, if you're listening, I love you, dude. I'm sorry we haven't caught up in a minute.
What's up, Brennan?
Brennan had more severe version of it when we were kids, but now that he's an adult, I don't think it's as bad. But he had Tourette syndrome, and we absolutely abused the hell out of that as children, and it was a blast. But in first grade, we had a teacher. Her name was Miss Bowser. And she was exactly like the dragon from Super Mario.
All hunched over.
Yes, she was mean. She yelled at everybody. She absolutely hated my guts. And like, I acknowledge now that I'm kind of a sarcastic asshole at times. I wasn't in first grade. I was a really sweet kid, like nice and innocent. All that's gone now and destroyed. But that kid existed, and for whatever reason, this lady just wanted to torture that little kid. And it made my first grade life a living hell. There was a girl in class that would pick on me, and it was minor, little things, knock over a pencil box, like jack around with the notebook, rip a page out, like, I think he's cute, or one of those little stupid things. But she would turn it around in a way where it would make it seem like I was the one doing all of the things. And Miss Bowser always believed every single thing this girl would say, no matter what I would do. Anyway, it culminates in you are banned from recess, and you have to write a note to your parents saying why and what you did and why you're not allowed to have recess anymore. And I just got to a point where I was like, I don't know what to do. I wish I had my brain now where I could be like, F this lady, like, I'm out. Like, who cares?
That's when your parents get the note that says, why is there a note that says Miss Bowser's a bitch?
Yeah.
Why would she send us this?
I wish I would have had that thought process as a kid, but I had a good one. And I wrote, Mom, I didn't do it. And then I went and played tetherball. And Miss Bowser got a hold of the letter after recess and just possessed, like lost her mind. I got in super, super trouble, and it just led to the situation where my parents had to come in and deal with her. My mom, I love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. You're amazing people. My mom is beyond a mama bear. She is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. She is a nuclear bomb waiting to explode to protect her child. And so she went into that meeting with the teacher and just laid down the law. You're not going to mess with my kid. If you mess with them, I'm going to do everything I can to ensure you can't. If this doesn't change, then I'm going to make sure everybody knows it hasn't changed, and we're going to deal with it then. It changed. And I took advantage of it.
You're what's wrong with this world.
100%. But I did it in a pretty fun and innocent way. Towards the end of the year, we had show and tell, and Miss Bowser could not get me in trouble. She couldn't yell at me. All she could do was send me to the principal's office. That's it. My show and tell was I had just got an N64. And I was super pumped about playing Super Mario 64. My dad and I and my mom were trying to get all the stars. It was like innocent kid shit, the things you do. Well, my dad bought me the guide, the Super Mario 64 guide, and I was just loving this game. So I brought the guide in as my show and tell. I'm flicking through pages, and I got this idea sitting at my desk. I'm like, oh my God, this will be so funny. So when I get up to do show and tell, I pointed a picture of Bowser, and I go, look, it's you! And I hold it up. It's the dragon, Miss Bowser. Everybody in the class, little kids losing their mind, laughing, freaking out. Yeah. Miss Bowser, you just see her start to melt down, like fall apart at the seams. She just walks out of the classroom. That is my last memory of Miss Bowser. I'm not going
to say because it's true, but go ahead.
Because she disappeared. She doesn't work for Lincoln. She stopped working for Lincoln, and she is gone. I think I may have motivated her in a sad way via my show and tell to make her not want to be a teacher anymore. And I'm really sorry about that. But also, you were really mean to me, and it sucked ass. So we're even.
She's somewhere like a Billy Madison list that says people to kill, and everybody's scratched off except for Matt Gordon.
We both made a list today. Sweet.
I mean, I'm glad to be on her list. That was such a shitty year of school. Like, I think back to it now. Yeah, I'm 34. I'm still making jokes about it. Like, I don't know what I did to that lady.
That's funny, man.
I have no idea.
She probably has a bad home life. She probably has a lot of problems.
You probably reminded her of some kid from her childhood.
There it is.
She's become she has all kinds of bias against redheads now because of you, Matt.
I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Just like
they don't have souls and they're pissed off, and I hate ginger written everywhere in her fucking Could
you imagine a teacher saying to kids like, "You don't have a soul"? Like, that was a regular joke when I was in school, and it's so funny. Like, out of context, you say that to somebody else who doesn't have red hair, messed up, gonna get written up. Say it to a kid with red hair, it's like, oh my God, it's the funniest thing in the universe. Everybody's laughing.
Yeah. I got him Kylie Holmes. What's up, Kylie?
Kylie.
I worked at DFA at the dryer with him. He had red hair, and I used to tell him, like, you don't have a soul. Well, he had reddish hair, but the reason, I guess I got my stories mixed up. Actually, he was his parents had to use I think it was IVF, or they needed help.
Oh, in vitro.
Yeah. I can't remember, but I was like, he was a test tube baby, and I said, that makes you don't have a soul.
That's terrible.
Because you were conceived the regular way, like Jesus likes. You don't have a soul. He used to get so sad. I'm like, see, my dad at least loved me enough to do it the right way. So
you're a monster.
Yeah, well, you know what? And he'd laugh, and everybody kind of laughed, and I think he walked away like, oh, fuck, is that true?
Yeah.
Am I going to have to sit outside the gates of heaven?
He goes home, climbs into his Petri dish bed, goes to sleep.
And then we've come full circle as he loads up his list of people that he needs to kill.
Yeah. So he's at home with a Billy Madison list. Everybody scratched off but Moose.
This will be an urban legend. This podcast is the three of us will be dead in a year because people are like, Miss Bowser, who's a huge Bullhucker fan in the past couple of weeks, is like, so I found you, Matt Gordon.
I finally found him. Oh, Miss Bowser.
Oh, Miss
I hope
Bowser.
She's happy now.
Yeah.
That was such a weird experience.
How old was she back then, you think?
I think late 30s.
Oh, so okay. She's young. She's a young woman. So I say young because to us that's pretty young. That's a spring chicken. So three great stories, Matthew. You didn't disappoint.
I try.
But you're one of those guys who can have stories probably every episode, right?
I would love to. Yeah. Except you're ending it, you monster.
You do. So things are gonna happen. So we gotta surprise the end of the episodes though. We'll see how that pans out. Yeah, right. So Matthew, how we decide how to pick, because it's like your 19th, 20th time.
Yeah.
We rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
And had I remembered how you do this, I probably would ask somebody else to do the ending episode. But why don't you just go ahead and tell us, are you a three-pumper or four-pumper?
The right way.
The three-pumper it is, he says. So.
Thank you.
The right way.
Four pumps.
You said the right way.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. It makes no sense. I will die on this hill. At the end of this fucking podcast, Larry has been wrong the whole time. He has no idea what he's talking about. This is insane.
I have a list of people to kill. And the only thing on that list is four pumpers. So very vague and very ambitious because that's a lot of people I come to find out. So
it is the right way. We're ending on a four pump.
That's what I was just thinking. We're ending this
ending
right
on the
way.
four. Guy, don't leave me hanging on this. Don't. Well, please don't. There it is.
I was watching the hate and discontent in Moose's face. I didn't see.
I just realized that Matt is a four son of a bitch. So, but it's funny throughout 190 episodes. We didn't start till like episode 8 or 9 though. It was Dency Kudrin was the first episode because she's the one that actually caught up to the fact that we weren't on the same page. But it's been fun for the three pumper, four pumper thing because he's surprised how many people I ask and they go, I don't. And then they double check themselves like,
Yeah, I guess I never thought about it.
Yeah. And
I've like really paid attention to it on TV shows.
Yeah.
I see it a lot more than I did before.
100%.
The Marvels, the Marvel movie, The Marvels with Captain Marvel. And did you watch it?
I have not, but I know it exists.
Okay, so there's a point where they rock paper scissors and they're three pumping it, and I'm like, even Marvel knows. So I was trying to get my cell phone out to record it, Adam, and then something distracted me. But yeah, The Marvels.
See, they started three pumping, and then all the movies started losing money.
Then he started getting shorter.
Yeah, let's move on. Ready? Oh, and he beats the last one. This is shitty all the way around for me.
So fuck all your stats up to this point.
Yes.
We are ending with a 4-pump win.
We'll see. All right. 3 great stories. We have Chicken Car, The Solo, and Lady Bowser. So I think Lady Bowser is a true story because it sounds about right for you.
Yeah.
I was tempted to pick The Solo because you threw a lot of stuff that I think you knew that we wouldn't know, and a lot of songs and terms, and because I didn't do any of that shit growing up, thank Christ. But I'm tempted to pick that one, but I'll take Chicken Car for one reason. It just seems insincere how you said some of that. So that's part of that story you told. I think that you did have a prank war with these people. I think it did get out of control, but I don't think the guy would not be able to find the smell of chicken coming out of his hubcaps for that long. Or, as Adam put, maggots would have formed pretty quick, and those things have been crawling out of the hubcap. So I'm going to go with Chicken Car for that very reason. What do you think, Vogue?
So I was thinking, Lady Bowser, that's one I think is true. And I'm like you, I'm down to Chicken Car and The Solo. On Chicken Car, I don't think a chicken breast, unless you were reloading those hubcaps, would stink for 2 months. But it might. But I'm going to go with The Solo. I think a lot of that's true, except I think you were replaced by Frank.
People to kill, Adam Vokey.
I'm trying to make all the lists today.
So you're going to go with The Solo, and I'm going to go with Chicken Car. Before we see that board, though, I do want to say one last time, hey, thank you to the Brush Emporium. Thank you for giving us this place to have this podcast. When we started, it was on a little fold-up round table back here that I had to haul every place, and we had to set up and break down every time. Episode 114 was the first one they had offered to let me do this here, and I thought I liked rotating around places. I liked going different places. I liked seeing different backgrounds. But then eventually they said, "Why don't you do it here?" Adam and I built this little studio down here, and almost 100 episodes later, it still stands, and it's done real well for us, and it's been fun, and people have came down and they've had fun with it. So also, if you've been on this podcast and you haven't got a chance to sign my wall, please let me know. I'd love to let you come down here and sign that wall. Eventually, these walls will end up in my garage or in the hallway to my basement. It might be lined with these walls. So when you go to my basement, you'll see all the Bullhucker walls and all the signatures, because this is something I will keep, because this is a great memory for me. A lot of fun up there on that wall. A lot of great stories. So anyway, thank you, Brush Emporium, for letting us do that. And if you haven't been down here, 210 Clayton Street, what the hell are you waiting for? Come down here. As we've told you over time and time again, the food's amazing. The atmosphere is great. They have a great seating area. You can play the old school board games if you come down. We just had a 70th birthday for my mom.
Amazing.
Back in October. And Tim Dussault, my buddy Tim, his daughter was here. She's 17, and the cousin's 16. They're playing Candyland up there, and they're so just into this game. I go, you guys like Candyland? We never heard of it. You know, they had never seen this game before. They're so young. So bring your kids down here, show them what board games were and what old school family nights used to be like, and with some great food. Mr. Vokey.
Yeah, I just want to echo everything he said. Thanks for Brush Emporium. Thanks for all the supporters. If you listen, you watch, whatever. Susan Koser, our ultimate fan. It's been fun. It's been a ride.
Probably the biggest fan. You know, I started running out of people to do this at times. And I made like episode 175, somewhere in the 70s, before I started missing weeks. You know, that killed me. And she's the one that's like, I don't have my episode this week. And I'm like, you know, does Susan got to come down and choke a man? Is that what's going to happen? So, Susan, you've been so amazing. And she does, and so does Tish Perez. We'll give them both shout outs. Along with my mom, too, but she has to, because she has to love me.
That's right.
That's what the law says. But they've been awesome. And Susan has commented, I think, on every episode. Since she's been joined on, and it was early on, I think the teens, when she first started listening to. But yeah, thanks, Susan. Thanks for being such a supporter of this podcast. And once again, Brush Emporium, thanks for letting us do this down here. It's been a ton of fun. I couldn't have asked for any more memories out of this. So having said all that good stuff, Matt, Mr. Wilkie's taking the solo. I'm taking chicken card. Let's go and see that board.
I'm going to take a point of personal privilege and thank you and thank Adam, thank all the other co-hosts. Guys, it's not normal to just set up a podcast and go out and want to randomly connect with people. And Larry taking the time to do that is amazing. And I hope if you see him just walking around, if you see Adam just walking around, go say hi, say thanks. That they care about this community enough to want to talk with every single person that they possibly could. I just cannot say it enough. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
All right. And now I can say, fuck Adam, because I've never beaten you. Because it was the solo.
You never have beat Adam.
Never.
No.
Not once. I could not fool this man to save my life.
How bad were you pissed off when he said
The second he said it, not only that, he nailed how it happened. So I was like, son of a bitch, man. This guy knows everything about me.
Okay, we're gonna start the podcast like Bullhucker's going away, and we're gonna have Bullhucker 2.0.
Yes.
Matt's gonna be on every week, so I can be perfect.
Yes. No, that was perfect. So it's actually way sadder than that. I joined the group, and our teacher pulled me aside only and was like, "Hey, I don't want you to be on the recording for CMEA because I don't think you're good enough to do it." Wow. And I was in 4th grade. I was like, oh, like devastated. And so I still have this memory of me walking to the playground and like sitting under the slide, crying and all this.
Did
like,
Miss Bowser send you?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you really Miss Bowser?
Yeah, people are always like, "Did you really like your school life?" I'm like, I don't know. It was an interesting time, but that I remember being a little kid, like, oh my god, like everything sucks. I'm terrible. I still got to sing live, and it was fun, but I never got a solo. I barely sang at all. They didn't want me to sing, but hilariously enough, you know, like, not that I'm always about revenge in every single situation, but when I became a lead singer of a band that recorded in professional studios, you best believe that lady got a copy of the EP.
Attaboy. Did she respond?
No.
Fuck her then.
No. But it was just one of those, you know, like for a little kid to internalize that for a really long time. I think there's a piece of me that wanted to prove that lady specifically wrong when I was in studios. Like, I could sing. Like, you can't stop me. I have a voice. I'm what does Will Ferrell say in Step Brothers? I'm the songbird of this generation, you know? Like, I could do that. But at the same time, like, I'm actually really appreciative for that moment, you know, looking back on it now.
Right.
I don't think I would have had a drive to do the things that I wanted to do in music if I didn't have a couple people say, wow, you suck. Like, you need to do something different and try or invest your time in practice. It's like, damn, you know?
Yeah.
Good things.
Very good. Chicken car's a true story.
Yeah, it is. And he legitimately did not discover the chicken for 2 months.
I'll be damned.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I could just see flies like coming out of the hubcaps.
Oh, we were dying.
Like,
yeah.
Some of the
We were dying. It was the best. But like the reason I sounded so vindictive is, have you ever had a bucket of chicken blood poured on you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's not great. And like getting it off of you is not easy. And also like it gets in your eyeballs, your holes. Like, dude, it is not fun.
Well, so obviously that's raw chicken blood.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's like a salmonella shower.
Yes.
Exactly.
And he just was like, oh, I'll do it as a prank. So I'm like, no. I'm going to go hit, well, number one, I'm going to hit his bottom line. Like, go after his money. Like, that's your livelihood. I'm attacking that full force. And then two, I'm going to do it in a way that screws you for as long as I possibly can.
Right.
Like, I was swimming in chicken blood, man. Like,
dude, nowadays that would get you arrested.
I agree.
I mean, that's assault. That's blood. That's, you know, use
like,
cherry syrup like you know, the movies, you know, that'd be worse.
I'm like, I don't want to send a guy to jail. I'm like, he's just he took a prank too far, and you know,
until you give salmonella and you're dying. You know what I mean? Then it's like,
well, then I would have sued his ass. Like, that's good. Instead, you know, he just has to deal with the chickeny car for a while.
Yeah, you sue him and get that damn chicken car. Is what you get. Yes. Stink ass bill, you know. And Lady Bowser, unfortunately, is a true story.
100% true. All of it. I had a really bad first grade year. Just a random situation where my personality just did not jive with this lady at all. Yeah. It's funny is like I've had many great teachers over the years. My second grade, I could shout them out. Miss Coronado, second grade. Miss Davis, third grade. Kevin Keeley, Jill Gokin, Andy Caldwell. Like, I know when somebody makes an impact in my life in a positive way. That lady did not do that.
Well, did you tell a story about any of them on a podcast?
No, it's true. I guess that's fair. I should. one of these days on a podcast that might exist on another day and another time.
Right. Matt, it's been awesome, dude.
It's been awesome indeed. Before
we go, though, I do have a little something to say. This podcast has been so much fun. As I've said over and over the past hour, I was just going to stop. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. And it took a lot for me to give this up. This has been a big part of my life for going on 5 years now. It was August 2020 is when we first started filming these things. That was July. It was actually when we first filmed the first one, and 2020 is the first time it came out. And I didn't really want to give it up, but I realized that sometimes things run their course. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, you know. But I'm not going to quite give up. We're just going to not do the Bullhucker anymore. There's a new podcast coming. It's going to start January 1st, right? And by the way, Merry Christmas. I'll give them Merry Christmas here.
Merry Christmas. This is a Christmas episode.
It's a Christmas episode. It's not going to be 3 stories anymore. We're going to change a lot of stuff. We'll see if it works. It's going to be a completely different format. So, but it'll be a brand new podcast we're going to bring to you every week. So I'm going to bring people on. You're going to see a lot of the same faces you saw on the Bullhucker. Maybe some new ones that are more comfortable coming on and telling
doing where we're headed.
I mean, I understand there's been a lot of people that have asked me to come to the podcast, and when I've got a hold of them, said, when can you come down and do it? They kind of ghosted us, you know what I mean, or whatever. And I understand this is a lot for people to do sometimes. It's very intimidating for me. I didn't understand it because this is something I do once a week.
Yeah.
So for Matt, Matt's always been in some kind of media. He's just a musician. This is something that wasn't a big deal for you. This is why I asked you first. Adam's done stand-up comedy, so being an attention whore is right up his alley as well. So I had to understand that it's intimidating for people in a small town too. So I take great pride that we had 190 episodes of people coming on and telling stories. That's damn near 600 stories we've heard on this podcast. You know, what, 570? Is that what it is? Well, we call 600 because people have thrown out extra ones here and there. You know,
probably way more than that.
Probably more than
all the random little ones that pop up around everybody.
Yeah. Plus the ones we've told.
Yeah. I mean, so it's been a ton of podcast, ton of stories, and I do appreciate everybody that's came on and supported this. You know, it's been cool to go out in public and people they fuck up the name of it. You like that Bullhucker podcast? I'm like, sure, but it's been crazy and it's been fun. You know, and it's and people have reached out and told me how much they enjoy it. And, you know, and they look forward to Tuesdays to listen to it. And then when I have skipped a week, sometimes people have got a hold of me and said, "Where's the podcast at?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, man." You know. So having said that, thank you so much. I hope you give the new podcast a chance. Spoiler alert, we're actually filming this one in October, the end of October, so trying to get ready for the new one. So when we film the episode 1 will be Matt Gordon. I found it only fitting that he'd kick off the new one since we had such good luck. He's our good luck charm because, well, I'm kissing your ass a little bit.
Thanks.
To get you to stay.
Redheads are good luck. Let's start a new stereotype.
I like that.
That's why he won't be back for the new one because
I'm in.
Yeah, but I do appreciate everything. I can't thank everybody enough out there, and there's too many people to actually thank because this would be a 9-hour podcast, you know, because I've had a lot of support. So, anyway, guys, I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Adam Vokey.
Hey, thank you. Peace. Hey everybody, and one more time, thank you so much for all your support for the Bullhucker. It's been kind of bittersweet that it's coming to an end, but that's okay. New things are coming, and I'm excited for what's coming. The new podcast coming January 1st will be called the Plead the Fifth podcast. It's going to be a lot different from what we do already, but I'm excited. I think you might enjoy it. I hope you give it a chance. Give it a couple episodes. See if you like it. I would love to have input or whatever you think back. Feel free to comment below. You know. It's going to be on Wednesdays from here on out, January 1st. Like I said, it'll be the first one, and every Wednesday it will release. If you're already subscribed to the Bullhucker podcast, it's going to go into that same YouTube channel and the same Podbean channel. So if you're already subscribed to listening to it, audio version of the Bullhucker, the Plead the Fifth podcast will just continue from that lead or that link. So once again, guys, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And you know what? We'll see you January 1st.